Ready?
Ready!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome once again to the Dragoon's Lair podcast. I am the host, Daniel the Dragon, the Blue Dragoon himself, and with me, as per usual, we have the incomparable family man, James Haynes.
Out of the sphere as always.
Yes, folks, that's right. We're back, and today we are going to be discussing the last two episodes of Peacemaker, Wednesday, Season 2, Part 2, and we're going to be discussing the movie Death Becomes Her, because it's spooky season, and it's a great way to start off spooky season.
I thought it was duck season.
Spooky season.
Duck season.
Spooky season.
Elmer season.
Elmer season. Yeah. No, so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us to the Dragoon's Lair podcast. Now, I do have to say one thing, and I don't know if I told you, Jimmy, but I didn't think after watching the Mr. McMahon documentary and everything, I didn't think anyone could make me miss Vince McMahon, and then the TKO board did. I don't know if you saw the recent announcement about them talking about one of their heads talking about the pricing for tickets.
You mean the $10,000 tickets for front row at
Yep.
WrestleMania?
Of course.
And
so
the, what is it, the $70,000 or whatever for the VIP section for 2 days, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT?
Yep.
Does the sensation of flushing the toilet come to mind?
Pretty much, because,
Yes.
when someone from the TKO board makes the statement that Vince McMahon's pricing model was for families and he didn't maximize their profits with ticket sales, I can't believe this guy just made me miss Vince McMahon.
I can't believe it's not butter, but who's counting?
Pretty much. No, so with that being...
wow, $10,000. What do you get? A freaking chair? Oh, wait, no, not one. You get 2 chairs because there's 2 backings each night.
It doesn't matter.
Thank you for that one. It doesn't matter.
The pricing for any sports events. I'm listening to people I work with. They're talking about the FIFA World Cup, where now
$500?
Yeah, because now it's a raffle to even try to buy tickets at first. I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous. If you're pricing out the average person from being able to go and enjoy a sporting event, sporting events aren't entertainment anymore. They are now becoming an oversized luxury item that basically, great experience, but you can't afford it.
They're becoming a fits in a tantrum song. You know what it is? Money grabbers.
Pretty much.
Yup.
Yeah, now, I do want to make one thing, because there really hasn't been a lot of anime stuff for me to talk about, but Crunchyroll did put out, subtitled only currently, 2 episodes that are compilations, I guess, to get everyone ready for Chainsaw Man Season 2.
Yes.
So they have 2 compilation episodes that'll get you wrapped up and caught up for the story for Chainsaw Man Season 1 if you don't feel like sitting through all the episodes, which it's like 12 episodes. I don't see why you wouldn't want to just watch the whole thing, but
I've been watching Tojin Anki.
Okay.
That's outstandingly blood gushing and all, amazing. And of course, our favorite man of all, Sakamoto.
Oh yeah, listen, gotta love Sakamoto days.
Oh, you kidding? You can't. What's not to love about Sakamoto?
Yeah, like even the latest episodes. I mean, I know in the U.S. we're behind 1 week, so technically, I mean, if someone has a VPN, they'd probably be able to watch the next episode in advance. But that might spoil things for them, so I don't know. I'm not saying anything, although if anybody would like to sponsor us with a VPN, I wouldn't say no.
What's that email to sponsor us with?
Oh, you can reach out to the Dragoon's Lair podcast at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com.
And remember, we'll push and publicize you each and every podcast.
And that's right. Well, whatever our contract will come out to. No, but seriously, there's a lot of stuff going on. The world is topsy-turvy, and I want to give us all a place that we can kind of step back, walk away from the absolute and total clusterfuck shit show that is going on in the outside world. So let's buckle up, strap ourselves in, and grab that remote and start watching some stuff. So let's start off with talking about Wednesday, Season 2, Part 2. So 4 episodes, and I think they did an immaculate job with this.
Holy crap.
Although I was able to predict some of the story beats. But I was not able to and predict a few of them, so it was a little confusing, but I will say we're going to get into some spoiler territory. So anybody listening, just make sure you know, if you haven't watched it, pause the episode, come back after you're done, and let us know what you think.
And hit resume.
Yeah, and you can let us know what you think by emailing us at dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. All one word, Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. Now, with that being said, Wednesday Season 2, great 8 episodes. You know, they talked about controversy and stuff, saying about like Emma Myers and maybe not liking Jenna Ortega anymore or whatever because her part was cut. It wasn't really cut. It changed. We saw more of Emma Myers' character after they did the first 4 episodes, because then everything just really took off and went running. And finding out that her character is an alpha werewolf, and there's a drawback compared to like the other stories of werewolves and stuff we've seen, you know, Teen Wolf and all, and like the Wolfman and stuff. An alpha werewolf in this universe, if they transform under a blood moon, cannot be turned back into their normal self.
Nope.
So, very interesting plot devices going on there. I think one element that was also very interesting was the fact that they kept the Hyde storyline going by having a family of Hydes, but a family of Hydes with a zombie uncle.
Oh, what was his name? What was his name again? As he originally known by
Slurp.
Slurp. Slurp. And his real name was, what was it? Igor or Lily or something like that.
I don't remember the character's name. You know,
Isaac.
Isaac
Knight. Or as people will know through in the future, Thing.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Which, yeah, that was one like great element. And it was also interesting to see a little more backstory for Gomez, where we got to find out why he's considered an outcast without any abilities outside of his ability to charm anyone.
Got me.
It's interesting because they're Hispanic, but yet they're at the same time it's like whenever they speak French, it's
Tish, you spoke French.
Yeah, they haven't done that for Wednesday.
No, they haven't done that for him. No,
but
they just made him out so good.
Yeah, but they've done a great job. The casting's been amazing. The character of Grandma is not the same thing from like the older versions of the show.
No.
Yeah.
But now, did you notice the ending? What is it? I believe it's her sister Polly. Who Polly is?
Are you sure Polly? Or Ophelia?
Ophelia? Yes, that's it. Ophelia?
Yeah, Ophelia.
You see who Ophelia is?
No.
Cousin It's Mama.
Oh.
You look at it very carefully. I'm looking like, holy crap, that's It's Mama. And everybody knows it is the hairy. Exactly.
Yeah, no, but most people know more from the 90s, like, movies.
90s movies and the TV show.
Yeah, but, you know, for a more modern audience, they're going to know, like, more of the movies than they will the show. Even though I'm pretty sure you can probably watch the original show on something like MeTV or another one of the...
MeTV, you search it on Amazon.
Yeah. I think, Amazon TV has, like, a channel that has, like, the old Addams Family episodes.
Listen, they got a channel of Dungeons and Dragons. What more can I say?
Yes, but it's only, like, the cartoon episodes, and then it goes into the actual, like, playing and seeing, like, the Critical Role episodes and, like, the Purple Worm, where you're actually watching people play. So...
Oh, they're at Joe Manganiello's house.
Not always. But no, so there's a lot of stuff that's there. But this season of Wednesday, like, I was able to predict that it was like she was going to get transformed and stuck at Enid was going to be as a werewolf and take off.
When you seen her run out, something was going on, and then you seen it. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah,
and then you find out that Billie Piper is a Lupin herself.
We knew she was a werewolf because she was already dealing with the werewolves, and she was very concerned about them going camping and there being a full moon. But Billie Piper, the real twist was at the end, finding out that her father was a Hyde.
Yep.
So there's a lot of stuff that's going on in this one. You know, we gave you a spoiler warning in advance. So if you're upset by this, that's your fault.
Sorry.
That's your fault.
Not sorry.
Yeah.
Racist.
Sorry, not sorry. But
Racist.
yeah. But no, we went and I enjoyed this. Like, I thought there was a lot of great character development. Like, each one of the characters actually saw something. They expanded a little more with Pugsley, where even in the movie, in the 90s, they really didn't do much with Pugsley.
She just kept beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, he was basically like a punching bag.
Yeah.
Even the movies never even
I'm a
showed.
turkey.
Yeah.
Eat me.
Yeah, they never had anything with him having like the electricity powers that like Uncle Fester has. But it was nice to see that they did get Christopher Lloyd to come back.
Yes.
So it's every time they get like a cameo from somebody else from there, you know, it looks like Christina Ricci won't be cameoing for season 3.
Nope.
And neither will Christopher Lloyd.
No.
But there's possibilities that we might get some of the other actors.
The only one we won't get is Raul.
Unfortunately, Raul Julia has passed away
We might get Angelica.
long ago. But the funny part is, when you actually think about it, that was one of the lasting legacies that Raul Julia could be proud of playing Gomez Addams.
Yes.
Because, frankly, Street Fighter he did for his kids. And
That was his last thing, too.
no, there was actually another movie that came out after it.
Oh, right.
It was, but it was more like a drama.
Oh, no, we're not talking about the Priest movie came out before the Street Fighter, and that was one of his best roles.
Yeah, but the Street Fighter one, I mean, let's face it.
I'm talking about the
Yeah.
Priest, not him as a...
And speaking of Street Fighter, we know there's a new Street Fighter movie that's coming out. This will be the third live-action Street Fighter movie, which Street Fighter doesn't have a great track record.
No.
I wish I could say that they did. Unfortunately, they really don't have a great track record.
What they're trying to
The
do
Legend of Chun-Li wasn't as bad as
wasn't as
people
bad.
think, but it wasn't successful.
No. 'Cause what they're trying to do, I see they're trying to copycat. Because if you look at it, Mortal Kombat went back to the drawing board. They went, and literally 2 ways drawing boards. They went anime, and they went to live action. So, and then to the second one.
Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat have both done their animated ones.
Yes.
Street Fighter started off with their anime movies, and they had an anime series. Then they had the USA live action Street Fighter cartoon. Mortal Kombat kind of had their own cartoon. They've had a live action series. They've had the animated movies that have been coming out have been absolutely amazing. There was the independent projects that came out of the Mortal Kombat Legacy, where we got individual episodes for different characters. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on there. But Mortal Kombat has always been a little bit better because their first movie was actually successful.
Yes.
The second movie,
Not too successful.
not really successful at all. I do have to say, though, I was a little disappointed they took out some of the characters, but Mortal Kombat has a huge legacy when it comes to putting out more games than, say, Street Fighter.
Yeah.
So they have more that they can kind of play with and go through all the motions with.
And each one's now using they're using the downloadable character items for games and everything.
Yeah, well, there's tons of stuff. I mean, they've went about, what was it? I think 11 games, and then they went back to Mortal Kombat 1. So they're...
And I don't know if you realize this, the comic book Injustice went to video game form, and who did they use to help them? WB, Warner Brothers,
Yep.
who was doing Mortal Kombat.
Well,
so
they
incorporate.
Well, remember there was also the game that came out for, I believe it was about the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
Which was Mortal Kombat versus DC, which was kind of ridiculous because they didn't give like the superheroes any fatalities.
No.
So it was kind of a little bit of a drag on that one. But no, so we've got something to look forward to, and I'm interested to see how Roman Reigns, who's been written off of television for now, is going to come and be Akuma.
He's Akuma, and
Cody Rhodes is Guile.
On maternity leave, as he's surprised everybody.
Well, I got to say congratulations to Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes for another baby, considering the fact that they used a surrogate this time, so no one really even knew. So, and that was something that I think is a great surprise for a lot of wrestling fans, but when it comes down to it, we knew he was going to be written off of television for a little while anyway, so he could go film, seeing as how he had already done the Naked Gun movie, and now he's gone off and he's got Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, sorry. So, with him playing Guile for Street Fighter and then having Roman Reigns also in there, I'm like, at this point, you might as well just get a bunch of the WWE superstars together and make either like another one of these fighting movies.
WW Entertainment presents.
Let's not go there again. No. No. So, I mean, that's the thing. So, how would you rate overall Wednesday?
Overall Wednesday, it was top notch. I really enjoyed it. But also, what makes me crack up? Did you take a look at Hyde?
Oh, the Hydes?
The monsters, yes.
Yeah.
You notice that it is definitely a Tim Burton monster character, because you look at it. It looked like Beetlejuice a bit. It looked like the creatures that were in the Beetlejuice underworld and everything. It just made me laugh and everything. You could tell it was a Tim Burton.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Even though it's like Al and Miles are doing their thing, it's, they're known for like their shows, but because Tim Burton does have his hand in this, and there was going to be that style.
Are working perfectly together, and keep going with this. I will say, just keep going with what you got. Do it nice and slowly, nice and smoothly.
Well, we know there's going to be a season 3,
which is perfect.
And it'll be very interesting. It was nice to see that they were able to incorporate each one of the members of the Addams family to go through and do what they're going to do. Steve Buscemi did a great job this season.
Yes.
Everyone was waiting for Lady Gaga. They got their Lady Gaga moments.
And the dance number, which was Enid and, was it I believe in?
Eunice? I think.
And it was Eunice, and she's like, "You've been stalking me?"
Yeah, the Invisible Girl.
But that was absolutely fabulous. That was like,
I did have to stop watching one episode because I was too busy cracking up with the switch between Wednesday and Eden.
Yes.
For the whole to see hour. That switch of them going and like in each other's bodies.
This is Wednesday, not Freaky Friday.
Which. Still, I'll eventually see the second movie, Freakier Friday, but
later, but not
now. No, when it does come to Disney Plus, I will check it out then. But I'm not the target demographic for that, and I don't think you are either, Jimmy. No. But we will discuss it at some point.
Yes.
Now, out of all of the episodes of Wednesday, I will say even though it was the hardest to get through, it was one of my favorites for season 2. Really was the body swap.
Yes.
There was no way around it. Did you have a different favorite episode?
I always liked the ball.
Yeah.
The gala ball, which was good because it's basically, you see there that Grandmama has been brainwashed in a way, and next thing you know, she's been told, you've been swindled. And in between, you see all the nice little gatherings of the dance and all these little creatures and who's dressed like what and everything, which was really nice. Everybody all dressed up. And then the next thing you know, somebody's set on fire.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those wonderful elements that we got where we're seeing like a whole slew of elements coming into play, especially finding out that the cult was actually Steve Buscemi was behind it, not the original leader that they thought it was. And that to me was like a very fun moment, because it was like just starting off the episode and it's like, yeah, I managed one of the sirens over there. It was like at that moment you knew what was going on. There were certain elements, I think I will say, with the writing for this season, like, were very transparent, that you could figure it out pretty easily. So it wasn't like there were any major surprises.
No.
You know, I think if you really went, like, the first half of the season had a few more surprises, and then the second half there wasn't as many, because you kind of already saw where the story was going.
Basically on this. I mean, it's surprised to see Christina Ricci when she came in for the first part of season 1. That was like, I thought she was dead.
Yeah.
But
well, it's the first part of season 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that's the thing. They were able to give us a lot of fan service where we were able to fan out over certain elements, and then things changed and everything just kind of kept rolling. So there was a lot of stuff that went on. So it's not like we were sitting there trying to figure any of this stuff out. It was just presented to us in such a well-packaged format that I found it extremely enjoyable. And I think anybody who hasn't seen Wednesday season 2 should be watching it.
And if you haven't seen Wednesday yet, you should be watching it.
Exactly. So now, let's talk about Peacemaker.
Yes.
I have to say,
it gets funnier and funnier.
Yeah. There's something about, like, James Gunn's universe with Peacemaker. It just works really well. And these latest 2 episodes, having Peacemaker be now let's start with episode 3. Peacemaker going, and he's now exploring this other universe.
The universe.
So he's in another one of their reality Earths in their multiverse, because apparently there's like 99 doors inside this thing.
You know, where Eagly flies around when it's colder.
Because he doesn't want to go and take him outside. Now, the interesting thing about that is he's finding out that the version of him that was there, kind of a dick and had more of a drug problem, I would assume. But he did somehow manage to be able to go and find out that it's like, okay, this world has all these things that he wants. He wants that relationship with Hardcore. He wants to be able to be seen as an actual hero.
Yep.
And this world, they see him as a hero.
And his brother is alive.
Yeah, the little kid crying as he's riding on his motorcycle. He starts crying.
You tell me, how hyped up was that motorcycle?
Oh, the motorcycle was great with all the speakers blasting.
Yes.
But it does seem weird when you look at that world. Something really seems off. Especially because, I mean, like, I knew something felt off about it when you're seeing, like, pour some honey on it instead of pour sugar on me. It's like the music and everything, like the song titles, the album art and stuff, it's all different than what you would expect.
Yeah.
But have you noticed that there's something a little off?
What, besides that he raided the Kardashians' wardrobe?
No, the fact that, one, they didn't know who the Kardashians were. But
that was too
when he's riding his peace cycle around, was there something that was a little missing in that world that you kind of noticed? Because I saw it and I couldn't unsee it.
Besides Eagly and at least more of the superheroes?
No, I mean in the parallel world. There's no diversity.
That's right.
It's a very lily white world. So, I mean, you're seeing a bunch of people loving Peacemaker and his father and his brother. But the thing is, we know Peacemaker's father was a white supremacist character of White Dragon. So
Now he'll be Blue Dragon.
Yeah, but either way, no, he better not be Blue Dragon. But,
I know.
I don't need people getting me and that guy confused. Yeah. But the thing is, when you look at that world, you saw no diversity whatsoever. But Rick Flag is still alive in that world.
Yes.
So,
Or Ricky, as he's known too.
Yeah, but young Rick Flag, as opposed to Rick Flag Sr., so Junior's still alive in that world.
And he's acting like a putz.
Well, he's acting like a jealous idiot.
Yep.
But then again, you can tell Hardcore in that world actually belongs with Peacemaker. Mm-hmm. But because that version of Peacemaker had his own issues of substance and wasn't really the best guy, it's like now he kind of it's kind of like he's in the right place for him. But that lack of diversity is a little weird, considering one of his best friends of, the 11th Street Kids is Adebayo. And so it's like, something seems off. And then now we get to the episode 4, the most latest episode, which watching that I didn't know how to take that. But I got to say, Tim Meadows is hilarious with his bird blindness.
Then call him, what do you call it, Ginger Kid?
Oh, he called him a bunch of ginger names that
and
it was like...
will you stop freaking calling me that? I'm being at least nice on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he's like, shut the fuck. And then he'd say, hey, he was making eyes at you while you're
making faces at you.
Really? And Sasha's like, and what were you doing?
Oh, yeah. Listen, The Economist knows what he's doing. He doesn't. You can't blame him for not wanting to turn on people who've helped him and have been friends with him, especially when you got the little dragon guy,
Rip Roger, whatever it is.
Yeah, but he was like Little Dragon before, like as the Vietnamese guy.
Listen, you Chinese guy, I'm Vietnamese.
Yeah, I'm like, how much of a sponsorship deal did they get to keep putting in like the flaming hot Cheetos? Because he keeps seeing him eating the flaming hot Cheetos. But no, like the funny part is Peacemaker comes back from this alternate world and he doesn't really notice his entire house is trashed and there's bullet holes in his ceiling. Eagly defended that home like a champ. And he's getting upset with Eagly for eating the food out of the fridge.
He's like, really?
But then you have...
You got your own food.
But they brought in Michael Rooker to play an eagle hunter.
Wait. The best is when he starts nibbling on the shit.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's like, I get bologna and potato chips.
No, the thing is, if you watch all the way to the end of the credits, it's an extended scene.
I have Spam and something else. I got Chinese. I'm like, what the fuck?
It was like beluga caviar. Yes. I don't believe you know what beluga caviar tastes like. He's like, this bird eats better than I do. Which I think most pet owners have probably looked at their pets and said, you eat better than I do. Because most pet owners are going to go and buy better food for their pets because they want to take care of them.
They're also going to give them the steak, order 2 steaks, one for them and one for the pet.
Yeah, which, listen, some human food is good for pets and some of it isn't. Mm-hmm. So the fact that Eagly is in the fridge going after food.
Baloney.
Yeah. I don't know if that's bad for an eagle or not, but Eagly still is one of my favorite characters in this.
And he gets pissed off at people. Why is Eagly pissed off at me? I don't know.
But no, they went all out. But finding out that his father didn't invent the doorway to the other dimension.
Was an alien.
He discovered an alien, and they eliminated an alien, and it was like, and they found the door. The fact that they have the device to open the door in other locations.
It looks like a woman's purse.
It looked like a deformed version of Dobby.
No, I'm talking about the freaking the thing.
That well,
it looked between a purse and a helmet.
I thought more like a medical bag.
That too.
It looked like more like an old school medical bag, just made out of metal. Yeah. But no, them opening up the door someplace else, knowing what's coming up, because you saw the previews and it looks like Rick Flag Sr. is going to be trying to use Hardcore to go and basically get a hold of Peacemaker.
Yeah, because she's been blackballed.
Yeah, but he's also upset because no matter what she says, he's still going to be upset that Peacemaker killed his son.
Yeah.
Took him out. It's nice to know that the first Suicide Squad movie is part of the James Gunn universe. Some elements, I think, from the first Suicide Squad movie are there. Primarily,
which one? We're talking about the James Gunn one, correct?
Is the second Suicide Squad movie?
Yeah, I know. That's a lot better.
The first one, which was terribly done, but we'll see if Margot Robbie continues on as Harley Quinn. Hopefully they don't get rid of her, but at the same time, if they did replace her with someone else, they've got big shoes to fill.
Yep.
But when you look at everything, they are recasting a bunch of the characters. Peacemaker is one of those more lower level characters, so it's interesting to see that he's getting to stick around, and he's been a bridge through from the Superman movie going into Peacemaker, and we'll see what the next movie, if Peacemaker has anything to do with it.
And basically, he's basically shows you that, like you said, the second Suicide Squad movie, his Suicide Squad movie, James Gunn's, is in his universe.
Of course.
Before him and Peter took over.
Yeah, but not all of the elements are there because there are certain elements that have changed. But at the same time, we know, like, the Rick Flag storyline stays the same. Amanda Waller has, because it did, some elements of Peacemaker season 1 are canon and other elements aren't, which was funny because one of the things that they did leave out is Peacemaker did have the jar of like the alien stuff for like the little butterfly aliens, and he still had one of those weird aliens with him at the end of season 1, and now gone. No mention other than stopped an alien invasion.
That's it.
Although I do have to say one of the funniest moments was Adebayo going and getting all excited about having her ad for her security agency in a magazine, and then Peacemaker revealing to her that the magazine's a scam. They only sell like 12 issues, and she's
12,000?
like,
No. 1,200?
You see where this is going.
Yeah.
John Cena has some great delivery, and I think he's gotten better as an actor, where, if you remember, the first movie he did was The Marine.
Yes.
He really didn't talk.
No.
But
he had his action, but this one, between the Suicide Squad and this, he's gotten a lot better as he goes along, and James Gunn has worked with him very much with this, and it's appreciated.
Well, there is an interesting connection to, which I don't know if we brought it up in the past or not, but the Marine has another connection other than just John Cena with Peacemaker. Robert Patrick.
Yes.
Robert Patrick was the villain in the first Marine movie,
and now it's his dad,
and plays his father in Peacemaker. So there's like some connections that, it's nice to see when some actors reconnect on another story, another show, movie, whatever it is, because there's that nice little tie-in, and if they have good chemistry together, then it works out even better.
Basically, that's the same thing with Fillion.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion. He's worked great chemistry with him, and he's brought him into his franchises.
Well, Nathan Fillion is just a phenomenal actor all around. The same thing with Alan Tudyk. Yeah. So the two of them are still part of James Gunn's universe. If they work well and they're doing a great job, might as well keep them around.
And I have a funny feeling because if you remember, before Guardians 3 came out, Dave Bautista was ready to go.
Oh yeah, he's done. He pretty much said
now he's basically done with Marvel. He's ready to come over there. The question everybody wants.
He doesn't, but he doesn't want to do like the superhero stuff. He doesn't want to try to jack on the size again.
No, you just give him something like with a suit.
Yeah,
they could find that for him.
The thing is, when you look at Dave Bautista now, he slimmed down. Mm-hmm. He said he put on a lot of weight for one of the movie roles. I think it was like the Cabin in the Woods thing with the knocking on the door, whatever movie it was. I still haven't seen it. it's on my list of a lot of things I need to watch.
That was a crazy movie.
Yeah, but he has like taken the time. He's lost the weight. He's on a very strict diet, and he looks good, but he shrunk. He's not the jacked beast, but you put him next to me, he's gonna look huge.
Yeah.
So, because I'm not as tall, I'm not as built, even though I'm like still a broader build. Still, it's gonna be one of those things where he's gonna look bigger next to like a regular average actor. I mean, you put him next to Arnold back in the day, Arnold's going to still be bigger.
Yeah.
But no, it's one of those things where, you know, we've seen some photos of The Rock recently. He shrunk down. So.
Well, he had to trim down even for his movie.
Yeah.
So, and I just heard, and I just seen the trailer. They're doing a Christy Martin movie.
You're going to have to refresh my memory about Christy Martin.
Okay.
Why don't you let us all know?
Everybody knows about Layla Ali. Layla Ali, as they call her, is the queen of the ring, of the boxing ring. Right? No. Layla Ali is one of the queens of the boxing ring, and not because of her father. She trained very well, granted, but there was a girl by the name of Christy Martin. Christy Martin was a dominant boxer in her day. And she's basically left it. I was always curious. I couldn't think of the name when I'm watching these chef battles. Like, who was Layla Ali's big rival? And then this movie comes up and everything, and Sydney Sweeney is playing her. No, you'd be amazed by it. If you check the trailer for it.
No, I laugh because Sydney Sweeney has a very interesting like filmography. When you look at what she's done some good stuff. She's done some stuff that's bombed.
I mean, she's also
Madam Web.
I mean, she's also in tagged with once they bring it back, Euphoria.
Yeah.
But we're still all waiting on that.
Listen, it's all a matter if they bring stuff back. If they don't, you know, it's all a matter of what the studios want to do. If something's a little too intense for some people, you know.
Well, that, and they also have one of the characters, if you remember, died. So they're trying to figure out what to do with him, and then they're trying to figure out what the other characters.
I actually have never watched Euphoria.
Very interesting show.
There's a lot of like, the problem is there's so much going on, and I'm so engrossed in. I've gotten to the point where sometimes watching regular shows for like on television and everything, if it doesn't draw me in, because like we've talked about it before, but I get annoyed when I start watching a brand new show and then it gets canceled. So it's one of those moments where I'm like, I want to be able to enjoy something. I don't want you to take it away from me. You know, I was watching it for years, Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
I've like fallen behind. I think I stopped with Family Reunion and somewhere fell off in season 4. And I think I'm like season 8.
Yeah.
So there's so much going on that it's like, it's hard to keep up with every single show.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of like the British model that we've kind of been adapting for like streaming platforms and stuff, of smaller seasons, and you take some time off and then they can come up with other things, but then it will come back. Yeah. If we don't, but the problem is for some people, when you take too much time in between, you lose someone's interest. So
that's why they had to do the Downton
Abbey movie.
And this is going to be the grand finale.
Yeah.
So they could actually end that show.
But
in a good vibe.
Yeah, but you also have to remember too, it's like, you know, you can go on to some of the shows on, like, let's say Netflix as an example. Mm-hmm. Some of the shows they'll put, when there's a break between the seasons, they'll give you a recap. So you could watch a behind the scenes little extra thing, so you can play catch up right before. They kind of did that, I remember, with Lucifer, when Lucifer came over from being a Fox show to becoming a Netflix show for season 4. And then from season 4 on, they would do little recaps before the season start, so you knew what happened.
That's always good.
Yeah, and having the recap, if it's done correctly, you know, you give the major highlights, but you also don't want to leave something out of those recaps that plays a pivotal part in the stories, because otherwise you might as well just go back and rewatch the whole thing.
Exactly.
So it's just an interesting way of doing things. I just prefer it that way. But like Peacemaker, we're getting like the coming up next episode, but they have like that one little extended scene after each one of the credits. So those are like fun little moments where it's like, stay for the credits, don't just switch off. You'll be able to see. Disney has bothered me when they've done it with their shows, where I don't know where people see the upcoming thing for the trailer for the next episode, when I'm like, okay, I waited, I went through the credits and still nothing. You're not showing me like next episode. I think when you give like a next episode or a recap before a season starts, audience. You keep that audience.
The only other way I've seen a lot of times like that, it's funny you mentioned, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do that. And it's like, why didn't you just put it on
after the episode?
Exactly. Like what do you call it? Like a lot of the HBO shows do. HBO Max and HBO shows do.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's just a matter of where are they going with it. I can understand, like, you know, when you go and you take a look at some shows, like when X-Men 98 came out, 97, whichever. 97, when that came out, they didn't tell you, like, on the next episode. They did a recap before the episode. You waited just like you did as a kid to see the next episode. But now it's like sometimes like Peacemaker is giving us, hey, here's what's like a little preview for the next episode. Gives you something to look forward to, something to speculate on, see what you know, and they have their own podcast. It just happens to be that, you know, we're discussing it because we enjoy the show.
Yep.
But now, I mean, I'm so far 4 episodes deep. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the next batch of episodes. And I honestly hope that this gets a season 4. Like, I want it like season 3, season 4. I want Peacemaker to keep going. Like, let it go as long as Gunn and Cena can keep it fun and entertaining, because between the two of them, James Gunn in the creative control, I think he's got a great grasp for this version of Peacemaker. Because like I said in the last episode about like the animated Suicide Squad isekai thing, I did not particularly like that version of Peacemaker. It was one of those things that kind of took me out of it. But this version, I think it also has to do with the fact that John Cena's personality is something that you want to watch. He's entertaining, and it's almost comforting to watch him. So,
by the way, speaking of Gunn, he started to leak out for 2027 the next Superman movie. And in that movie,
I thought it was a Supergirl movie was next.
No, Supergirl movie is next, but the next Superman movie, which will be they're looking at 2027, Luthor has the suit.
Oh, so they're giving him a Lexo suit.
They're giving him the Lexo suit. The green suit. Which
is hilarious, because he technically had the Lexo suit that he took from Steel in The Adventures of Superman and Lois. The last of the CW shows from the Berlanti-verse. So, but no, so that should be interesting. Now, we wanted to do a little throwback for when it came to the movie that we were going to do, because 1, spooky season, and 2, it's had its own like theatrical, well, not theater, actual theater. Yes, it's
been on Broadway.
Yes, you know, the more classy thing that they think of when they say theater. So yeah, so we chose the movie Death Becomes Her.
Well, you go like this. Not like
for the people who are only listening, Jimmy is sipping his water and then guzzling his water. And if you'd like, you can make sure you can see him doing that by watching the episodes on YouTube 1 week after it comes out. But you can watch it early on Spotify if you want to watch the video version of the podcast.
Special thanks to Road Dogg for that nice demonstration from music.
But yeah, no. So Death Becomes Her was a classic like movie. I can't say it was like a huge hit, but it was a fun like underground like comedy. It was a horror comedy at the time. And when you look at the cast, just the three leads alone, you have Bruce Willis, Meryl Streep, and Goldie Hawn. Now,
that was back at the time when Bruce Willis was in demand.
But it was also not just when he was in demand, but it was also at a point where Bruce Willis was really flexing like multiple roles. You didn't just see him as John McClane doing like the Die Hard movies.
You didn't see him on Moonlighting.
Yeah, you saw,
or even Bruno.
Yeah, his album. He was all over the place.
Yeah.
And he did a lot of different like stories. There was like, what was it? I think The Color of Night.
Yes.
So he had done, like, he was all over trying like different things. And this one got him to be able to flex a little bit of like his comedic chops again, you know, and I think it worked really well.
Between this and Bonfire of the Vanities, oh my God. But his fashion and his hairstyle, I couldn't stop laughing every time I'm looking at him, like, and but the funny thing is his occupation was even funnier.
Oh yeah. Well, you figured for this movie, his character's occupation was he was a plastic surgeon.
Yes.
And then eventually he just ended up being basically a mortician. He was a celebrity mortician, so pretty much. The movie has some great comical elements to it, but there's also the theme of people, which still resonates to this day, of people chasing, like, looking young,
people
and that eternal youth. Yeah. You know, I think it's something that's always going to be relatable because people are always going to look for something that's going to turn back the hands of time.
Let us remind you and give you an example of, please do not try this at home. Remember what happened to Joan Rivers. That's it.
Now, look, frankly, the movie has
back to the movie.
Yeah, Death Becomes Her has a great element to it of basically Goldie Hawn and Bruce Willis are together. They're basically going to meet one of her friends, and Goldie Hawn is using this as a test because her friend always steals her man. And this time around happens again.
And first thing you see is Meryl Streep's character. You see everybody. I'm like, oh my God!
For a Broadway production that was absolutely
trash,
ridiculous.
It was so bad.
I mean, people
were leaving.
They walked out at the very beginning and they're already trashing it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. And the fact that they did, like, you can tell there was a lot of production value put into the movie back then. And thankfully, it's not that long of a movie.
No, it was less than 2 hours.
Yeah, less than 2 hours, but had a lot of interesting elements to it. Goldie Hawn's character, as she goes and she's now lost her fiance to her so-called friend, she ends up basically watching a movie with Meryl Streep's character getting killed over and over again. And she had gained a ton of weight.
Yes.
Goldie Hawn in the fat suit was hilarious.
She had to go to
a funny farm. She ended up in a psych ward, basically. And instead of her getting the proper therapy, she takes it the wrong way and thinks she needs to eliminate her so-called friend.
I believe she's Cynthia.
Yeah.
I believe.
The problem is, like, the characters' names don't really matter. When you look at the actors that are portraying them, yes, it could have really just been Goldie Hawn and Meryl Streep. Like, that's all it needed to be.
But then you bring in the ever popular Isabella Rossellini.
Oh, yes.
And her voodoo that she do.
Yep.
And everything. And it's just amazing.
Breaking the laws of nature itself, yes, by turning the hands of time back.
It's Madeline and Helen.
Yep.
And Madeline is Meryl Sheep. Oops, sorry. And Goldie is Helen.
Now, they both did a phenomenal job in this movie.
Oh, my gosh.
There is one element in the movie, though, that I have to say, I cracked up because they're doing their own stunts. Like, you can tell it's just them having a sword fight with a pair of shovels. They are swinging them so awkwardly that the choreography could not have been any more awkward at all. You're watching just up 1, 2, like you hear the clanging of the shovel
and
heads.
You could see the visual effects in this movie.
A
few times.
But the visual effects have aged pretty well for something that was like the mid 90s. Mm-hmm. Like one element that I think was hilarious is the fact of like Meryl Streep falling down the stairs, breaking her neck, her like walking, like trying to walk backwards. It's like the effect was phenomenally done.
And she shoots Goldie Hawn, and it's funny when you mention the shovel, because she throws the shovel at her, and
when it broke, she uses it like a spear and goes right through the hole, gets excited and is like, yes, because she got a bullseye, and then realized it did no damage. So it's like, no. This movie has some great comic beats to it, and most people don't think of Meryl Streep as a comedic actress.
No.
This was hilarious with them. Like, this was one of those movies where you're sitting there, you don't expect a lot from it, but you get more than you expected.
Zemeckis did a good job with this.
Zemeckis always has a pretty good track record when it comes to this kind of stuff. The practical effects are absolutely great. You know, like Meryl Streep having to constantly keep fixing her neck after getting hit in the head with the shovel, and she's got to like pick her head back up out of her neck. No, like I'm talking when they crush her down, and so now she's like pulling it up. And it's like she lets it go, her head starts sinking. It's like, would you stop that? So she has to hold her head up.
And then, the punchline at the end of the movie was the best with the two of them.
Oh, yeah. They're stuck together because you find out the potion that they take that turns back the hands of time, the deal they made where they could be in the spotlight for 10 years and then they have to fade away because before people catch on. Well, congratulations. You're zombies, basically.
You become acrylic.
Yeah, they were basically mannequins.
Yeah.
Which I found that to be hilarious because as a kid, I always enjoyed watching Mannequin. Not Mannequin 2, but Mannequin. Mannequin 2 wasn't terrible, but it wasn't as good as the first one.
No. The first one is...
Oh, yeah. But it's like you see the body parts all look like mannequin body parts at times. And when they fall to pieces at the end is literally like, you remember where you parked the car? It's like they're in pieces. They can't pull themselves back together. You remember where you parked the car? Like, just that's the point where it's like somebody just scoop them up and just put them in a casket and be done with them.
Just put them in the incinerator.
Although one moment that I love is the party scene where at the party they're making the announcement of reminder not to pop up and make appearances to see if people still remember you or get them to freak out. And when they all turn around and look, they're looking at Elvis.
Yes, all the day.
Yeah.
That was all the day. That was too funny.
But you see, like, to this day, there's still people that think Elvis is walking around. It's been long enough that I don't think he's really walking around unless you're going to go in with something like Bubba Hotep. But no, so this movie is one that I highly recommend. If they're showing the theatrical, if they show it in the theaters, I would recommend seeing it.
Yes.
But
it's on Prime.
Yeah, but seeing it on Broadway might be something you might be interested in if you enjoyed the movie itself. Let's face it, they've done so many theater releases on Broadway, off Broadway of other performances. There was the Spider-Man show that they had done. So there's all different versions.
That was done by U2.
Yeah. Then there was also like the movie Heathers had a musical, and then they turned it into a series, which was kind of a musical and not. There are so many other ways.
Elton John just tried to do Devil Wears Prada in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, no. He had to bring it back to the West End and redo it. This is the second time he's had to do something. He did Aida over. It was in Atlanta. They told him, yeah, listen, this is starting to tank. You better fix this up.
Yeah, but
everything.
And that's the thing, though. When we look at how everything goes, not every production is going to be a Hamilton.
No.
You know, I will say my personal favorite thing I've ever seen, like Broadway, off Broadway, has actually been Avenue Q.
That one's funny, but one thing I like is Jersey Boys.
Okay.
And Mamma Mia.
Yeah. Well, you've been to the theater, I think, probably more than I have.
Pretty much.
I go to the movie theater. You go to
Yes.
the actual theater.
I've been to the actual
You have a
theater.
little more class than I do.
I mean, I've seen Sweeney Todd. Not the Johnny Depp, but the original.
I've seen the movie.
Todd. I know, who hasn't? But I've seen a Broadway version of that
Yep.
and everything. And I hear they're doing a Live Aid musical. It's called Just for One Day. And it's in London right now.
Now, I will say before we start wrapping everything up, I've been seeing some advertisements for like a John Candy kind of documentary movie,
Yes.
which I'm interested to seeing that, but I don't think it's going to be in where I'm going to have the ability to see it.
Prime.
I do hope it does come to Prime.
No, it's going to be on Prime.
Okay.
I believe that one's going to be on Prime.
Eventually, everything ends
That's done
up somewhere.
by Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
And I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, there's
The trailer.
like the life of John Candy has got to be an interesting story. So I definitely would recommend checking that out if you're interested.
I know they're doing my wife had just told me this morning, I don't know what network got it, but Cyndi Lauper, Questlove's Earth, Wind and Fire is coming out. Most likely, since he's got like a little contract deal,
Yep.
I think it'll be on Hulu.
Well, they also
Everything.
Netflix just released the Charlie Sheen 2-part documentary.
Yes.
So they have that, and there's one I want to start checking out, which is the Devo documentary.
Ooh, what network?
No, it's Netflix, I believe.
Okay.
So Netflix has Devo and Charlie Sheen.
Now, years ago, History Channel did something called...
Jimmy, before turn
Yes.
your head towards the mic.
Yes.
Stop. Yeah. Okay.
History Channel did years ago The Men That Built America.
Yeah.
Now, Netflix did a similar version of The Titans of Hollywood.
Well, Netflix also had The Toys That Made Us.
That too. But this one is just like similar to that. And it shows the Warner Brothers, Fox, Mayer, and it shows who created United Artists, which you'd
Yep.
be intrigued with. And that's on Netflix. That is a 5 or 6 part documentary. And it's amazing how everything is all intertwined together, how it started in New York, went to California, because of certain...
Now, when you talk about the Warner Brothers, does it have the Warner sister?
No.
See, that's the
But it
problem.
has, and it explains the water tower.
Okay.
Yeah, it does explain the water tower.
Listen, if it doesn't have Dot, I'll be disappointed. You know.
But it's amazing on who created what and etc. But it doesn't touch upon, I believe it's Paramount. It's either Paramount, no, Columbia, because Columbia is the baby of the group.
Yeah. Well, I actually just sent you a video on TikTok about Universal. And
Yes.
the Universal monsters, and about like Dracula being the start of the Universal monsters and everything.
They showed Universal and how
Yep.
basically Universal Monsters was basically how to be their moneymaker.
Yep. And for something that they didn't really want to do in the first place.
Exactly.
So, you know what? We don't want to drag this out for too long because we could pretty much keep going. So, Jimmy, you want to tell everyone how they can get in touch with you and your socials?
Well, just remind everybody, Tubi, We Are Family, all 10 episodes still streaming. You can find me on Blue Sky, James H925. You can find me on Snapchat, James SI0925. Instagram and Threads, you can find me James H_the4th, James Haynes the 4th on Facebook, and TikTok, James0925. Special shout out as always to our man in English Town. With any toys you need, go see Heath at BoobTube Toys. and let him know we sent you there, and everything. And if you have any questions, you're looking for something, he could probably help you. He's got the Pops, he's got the Star Wars and DC Marvel action figures. Go check him out. So.
All right, and the best way to get in touch with me is Blue Dragoon 13. Easiest way to find me on Snapchat, Blue Sky, Instagram. You can find me on Threads. You can also find the YouTube channel, Blue Dragoon 13. You can find the Twitch page. Don't really stream on there, but every single one of my links for my social media has the link for the Discord group, so you can join there, become part of the community, so we can keep growing and get more people involved and maybe be able to do like some community events and stuff. But you can also make sure you find us on Blue Dragoon Official, Dragoon's Lair Official, sorry. So Dragoon's Lair Official on Instagram and Threads. Not only that, but you can also make sure you listen to the Dragoon's Lair podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Podcast, and iHeartRadio. We're also on every other podcasting platform that you are looking to, and that includes Audible.
Yes.
You can also go and make sure, listen to us on Spotify, but not only can you listen to us on Spotify, you can watch the latest episodes and see what's going on. So when we make little references and do certain things, you don't fall behind just because the audio version I didn't want to have to explain today with Jimmy with the bottle of water, but so you could watch that on Spotify 1 week before the YouTube version comes out. You can make sure you can find me, Blue Dragoon 13, on TikTok. You can see all of like the shorts that we put out, small snippets of the show. Make sure you interact with all of our social media. Like us, share, follow, subscribe, do all the things, hit all the buttons, leave us comments, reviews, join in on the discussion. Make sure you send us emails and let us know what you think, or if there's something you want us to check out, or give us your opinion on something we've talked about. You can do that at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. Not only that, but now here's the fun part. We put up polls on the Spotify page. So if you go to the Spotify page, you can take part in the polls, give us your opinion on stuff, but make sure you leave us a comment and a review. Go into your Apple account, leave a review for the show. It helps people find us and spread the word. Not only that, but we appreciate each and every one of you who does that for us, because frankly, without you guys, we're just screaming into the void.
That's true.
Yep. And with that being said, we're going to wrap everything up. Next week, we're hoping to do something very interesting. We want to leave a couple surprises there for you, but we will be back and we should have something good. So with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you out there. I want to tell you how much we appreciate you. And remember, folks, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Now get out.